this morning. Oh, is this for me? Oh, thank you. A turtle and what is this piglet's name? It's just Piglet. I had it right the first time, huh, Mia? Did you keep your mom and dad awake all night? No. You guys popped right out, huh? What did you have for breakfast? Pop-Tarts and donuts! The breakfast of champions. And munchkins too? Donuts and munchkins? Are there any left over down there? Lots left over. Okay, maybe we could just end the service now and go down and eat donuts. Huh? No. You have some extra magazines too? Oh, good. We can eat donuts and read magazines. Life is good. This is Lucy and who? Who's the little boy? Linus. Right. Lucy and Linus. We have to read the whole thing. Jumping way ahead. Lucy says to her brother, if you only knew how nauseated I get every time I see you holding that stupid blanket. What does nauseated mean? If you're nauseous, what are you? You're about to throw up, right? I know none of you guys throw up, but sometimes it happens. So she's not being very nice to her brother, is she? And she says his blanket is stupid. You ever say that? Oh, and you say that? Oh. Okay, time to rat out the parents. Okay, we know that your parents are flawed, okay? Why don't you take a pill, he says to her. What does he mean by take a pill? Like if you have a headache, take an aspirin or Tylenol or something like that. Why don't you just take a pill for relief of nausea caused by the sight of little brother clutching his blanket? She gives it right back to him, doesn't she? And what does she do? She ties the blanket around his face. She's a kind of a tough sister, huh? She's mean. Sometimes it feels good to be mean. Is that what happens? No, it doesn't feel good to be mean. No, sometimes. But it's never good to the person you're mean to, is it? Do you think Linus feels good with the blanket wrapped around his face like that? No, I don't think so. You know, everybody has their own style. Some of you have a favorite stuffed animal that you hold on to. Some of you have a blanket. Some of you, when you were real little, had a pacifier that you would suck on. Some of you, when you were real little, sucked on your fingers or your thumb. You had both? Well, you know, some people just want as many choices as possible. And everybody has their own style. And people out here in the congregation, they have their own style about things. And people do things differently. And sometimes there are folks among us, and you don't want to be one of these folks, but there are folks that you'll find in life who want you to do things the way they do them. They want you to have their style because they think their style is what? Best. Right? Yeah. It's better than your style. So she wants him to get rid of this blanket because she doesn't like the blanket. Does it make any difference to Linus whether she likes it or not? No. He can still enjoy the blanket. I'll tell you a story. One church I was in a long time ago, we used to have potluck suppers. You know what a potluck supper is? No. No? Potluck supper is everybody out there who comes to the supper. Everybody brings food, right now. And everybody brings what they really like, and they put it on this big, long table, and then people line up, usually Ken Sleeper's first in line, and there's some others like that. And you get behind Ken, and then you go down the line, and you fill up your plate with food. And people bring all kinds of different things. People bring meatballs, and people bring casseroles. You know what a casserole is? It's a whole bunch of stuff, you have no idea what it is. They mix it together and they tell you it's good. And then you have to choose for yourself. You like casseroles, Fiona? What's your favorite thing to eat? M&M's? Boy, there are no nutritionists among us this morning, I hope.
I love vegetables and fruits.
You love vegetables and fruits. What a good boy. Wow. Okay, so everybody has something they like different. Different. Well, in this one church I went to, this one family, this one mother, she had 2 small kids. And she would always bring a small pot of those real little hot dogs. Have you seen those? They're called Vienna sausages, right? And they're about this big. You've seen them, right? Okay, and usually, if you want to be proper, you hold your fingers up like this. And then you get them on a toothpick. And you take little bites like this. Or you shove the whole thing in your mouth. Whatever you would prefer to do. But there were some women in that congregation that thought, and probably a couple of men too, that thought when you came to a potluck supper, you were supposed to bring a casserole. Something you made, something that was your recipe, something you worked on a long time, and you brought it in your beautiful casserole dish. And they thought that was the way you were supposed to come to a potluck supper. And one time, they didn't even know who used to bring these little hot dogs, because this was a very big church. And one time, the lady who brought the hot dogs and her 2 little kids were right in a line behind 2 other people. And one person said to the other person, "Well, I wonder who brought those hot dogs. Those aren't appropriate for a potluck supper." And they didn't know that the lady who brought them was standing right behind them. How do you think she felt? Yeah. Because her style was, this is referred to sometimes as an appetizer or an hors d'oeuvre. It's something you have before you have the main part of the meal. And so some people brought stuff like that. And this woman felt bad. And you know what I wish that woman had said to those other 2 people? "Why don't you take a pill?" Right? You don't like those hot dogs, why don't you take a pill? And then you won't have to worry about the hot dog. Would that be a nice thing to say? No. Leah, you are right on the ball. It would be a mean thing to say. But, see, this woman had her own style. And sometimes you're going to see kids or adults or families, other families who do things differently. And you have to accept that and say that's their style. They have their own style. Some people dress up all the time. Some people hardly ever dress up, and so on and so forth. That's the way life is. But when you say bad things about people, or when you say mean things about people, or when you say that what they're doing isn't very good, you're kind of in the same way saying that they're not very good. You know? This lady doesn't know how to do a potluck supper. It's not that I don't like the hot dogs. I don't have to eat them if I don't like them. But she doesn't know how to do this. And that's not true, is it? It's not about the person. It's just about their style. That's why I like being around kids, because kids have all different styles, you know? And sometimes you come to church dressed in an outfit, and I look at it and say, she got out of the house before Mama looked at her, or something like that. Am I giving off some kind of electronic...
I've been thinking you're haunted for the last 2 years.
I'm haunted for the last 2 years. My watch stopped too, so okay. You guys can go to your Sunday school. Thanks for listening.